We got a lot to talk about today. $500 monthly checks and reoccurring monthly checks. UBI and more taxes for everyone across. A lot of people has been asking me, well, I'm not going to say a lot. It's every day I probably get like 2 questions. And well, now we got some news I can answer that question. They want to know, what are they going to do with all this money they have left over from previous stimulus packages? Well, they finally are talking about that. But what are they going to do with this money? Where is this money? I mean, people wants to know. But a lot of states right now has got so much money in their slush funds and they don't know what to do with this money. So they are trying to come up with ways to help the people of their states with that money. And Chicago is not the only state. It's just, this is the state that's actually trying to do something. But in Chicago, they have so much money left over in their slush fund that they are thinking about sending out reoccurring checks to 5,000 low-income families in the amount of $500 a month. Now, this is good for those families, but there's a downside to it. Of course, there's always a downside. This would be a pilot program for study. They would be studying this to see if it would work as a UBI check. They want to know if this will bring the people that's in poverty out of poverty. And they also want to see how these people will spend this. And they also want to find out if this money every month would help them, or would it make them more dependent on government handouts? I won't even get into my thoughts on that. Y'all, but Chicago is not the only state with this money. Just about all states have leftover money and they're just sitting. So if I was you, I would be hounding my state's lawmakers, letting them know that we the people need our money. They don't need to be sitting on it. And let them know, point blank, that their job depends on we the people getting the help. Y'all, so many times we don't get help because we don't demand. We have to demand help. The days of being the nice guy, sitting back and seeing if they're going to help, that's over. They're not going to just pass this money out. We have to hound them for that. 50% of the people that was polled said they're very much against it. So I want to try to explain this the way I see it, if I could, and I don't mean to be derogatory against a group of people or negative. I just want to let you know how I feel and what I'm thinking these 50% of people may be feeling. People are saying, the ones that don't need this UBI, they're saying, great, another check to hand out to people that don't want to do nothing with their lives, another check to give them so they can go waste it however they want to. Another check to make them more dependent. Another form of welfare. That's what a lot of people are thinking when they talk about UBI for the very low income people. And I admit, at one time I thought that too, until I figured out what UBI was all about. When people get a UBI, Universal Basic Income, they have to report every dollar that was spent, how they spent it, what they spent it on. So when it comes to just frivolously throwing money away, going out partying, going out to eat and that kind of stuff, buying flat screen TVs, that simply won't happen. Because if it does, their check will be cut out. So I think if more people understood that 50% would go down. And maybe these people would get the help that they need. I'm not against helping people at all. I'm against helping people that waste the money on frivolous spending. If they really need the help, I'm all for 100% giving them all the help. But it's got to be necessities. Bernie Sanders said that he will not compromise on the Medicare and Medicaid reform. He said we can't leave behind the age and population of this country. He wants to see dental, hearing, and vision included, and he wants to lower the prescription cost. Sanders also said that the American people needs the American government to negotiate these drug prices with the big pharmaceutical companies. Right now, America is the only country in the world that our government does not do this. So therefore, the American people takes it up the well, I won't say that. But as usual, little Joe Manchin is still pushing back on Medicare and Medicaid reform. He don't think these two programs can handle the expense that comes with this. And the way it is right now, I agree with him on that. I don't think it could either, but I have a solution. See, if these politicians would come to the table with a bill, with a proposal, with an idea, but they would also come with a solution to make it happen, to fix it, this country would be so much better off. But I have a solution. You take all of these pet projects that these politicians are wanting. You take all of this crazy spending that they're wanting to do. You take the money that would be spent on them things and prop Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security up with that money. These politicians act like this is their money. They can spend it however they want to on their wish list. It is not their money. It's the American people's money. If they'd done this, these two programs, Medicare and Medicare, would not have any problems at all. But that's too simple of a fix for our government to do it. Our government does not understand. Keep it simple. They're still wanting to raise the taxes on the wealthy people making over $400,000 a year and on the big corporations. But we all know raising taxes on these big companies would just be raising taxes on everyone, because these big companies are not going to absorb the tax increase. They're going to pass it on to us with higher prices at the cash register. So in fact, raising taxes on them would be raising taxes for all of us. But even more than that now, they are looking at raising taxes across the board on anyone making more than 20, that are in the 20% tax bracket. And that would include almost everyone, because you don't have to make a lot of money to be in the 20% tax bracket. This would include a lot of people making under $400,000 a year. And that goes against Joe Biden's campaign promise not to raise taxes on anyone that's making $400,000 a year or less. But we all know how Joe Biden's promises goes. Y'all, I hate to say this, but if Joe Biden's mouth is moving, he's probably lying. If he's not lying, he's reading cue cards from what they want him to say, or reading a monitor on the back wall that they want him to say, because he just cannot think for himself. But here's a novel idea to pay for all these programs and not raise taxes on anyone. Anyone, not even big corporations. Close all the loopholes. Don't raise taxes, just close the loopholes. Going forward, these rich people and the big corporations would be paying their fair share, because there would be no loopholes for them to hide behind. Now, this is crazy. You all know how the American people are fighting to get some help from the government with our own money. Well, check this out. Joe Biden has agreed. It's not that he's thinking about it, he's trying to get approval for it. He's agreed to do this. He's going to send $102 million of your tax money to Southeast Asia. This will be to help them with their climate change programs, promote economic growth, and to help them with the losses in their economy from the COVID pandemic. Joe Biden said that he wants Southeast Asia countries to know that they are important to him. Joe, they're important to us too. He is also using our money that could be helping the United States citizens to pay for 40 million doses of COVID vaccine for these countries. So what about the American people, Joe? Come on, Joe, that's not your money. That's the American people's money. Why can't the American people get the help they need? Joe, if you care so much about Southeast Asia, that's great. We care about them too. But charity starts here at home. If you want to help these countries with this kind of money, do it with your own money, not the American taxpayers. Y'all, please sound off in the comments what you think about all of this. It's getting crazier and crazier every day, y'all. Sound off in the comments how you feel about it. If you want your comments took over to the We the People website, please start it by saying We the People. We will take it over to the website. Please check out the website. We blog over there, and we're free to say more over there than we do here, and we do. Also, check out the We the People Facebook group and join that group. You do have to answer one question. Y'all, please say a prayer for our world. Say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for our leaders. Whether they're leading or not, they do need prayers to turn this thing around. Say a prayer for everyone around the world that's hurting through COVID, financial hardship, or any other affliction. And just know I love you all. Until next time, ciao.